Okay, well, Stefan, we are live. Thank you again for taking the time to do this. Just give us a little 1 to 2 minute overview of what your riding history has been
Yeah,
like.
my riding history is that I've been starting with the triathlon actually, and I did that for 10 years ago. From that, it is evolved to the race bike. For last year, I got this idea I want to have a longer rides, so that when I come into this touring life, and the best ride I have been is actually all the planning rides onto my NordCap trip actually, because I was learning a lot on those trips. The biggest challenge I had with this touring was the surprise how the bags is taking the wind and the weight I'm going to have up the steep hills. That was the biggest surprise for me. I'm doing this alone for the most part, and that is getting me more relaxed from my job because I also work as an engineer. I can let go of most of the stuff and clear my head. That is what I like, and the nature.
I love that. One engineer to another.
Yeah.
I totally feel that just having that open space to get out of that more narrow problem-solving mindset
exactly.
and just open up your mind, enjoy nature, and really having the space to do that. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned before this call that you did do most of your riding solo, but you did take a ride with your girlfriend. It sounds like you took a 4-day trip. Talk about what you liked about each solo.
Yeah, it's two different worlds to ride solo and ride with someone, and I like both of them because sometimes, in the evening it could be quite loneliness. Be the solo rider, there it could be nice to talk with someone, but I also learned when I ride with my girlfriend is that you always have to make compromise. Because if I have a good day, I can run maybe 160 kilometers and she could maybe only 100. And you need to compromise on that way all the time. But it's also nice to have these breaks all the time, have a talk, have a meal, enjoy each other.
Love that. Yeah. I think that's a great way of describing it. It really helps set expectations for people that do want a riding partner, realizing that you will get the benefit of having them around, but you're also going to have to make compromises because there will be differences in preference in conditioning levels. Last question for you. So one of our favorite things about running PedalCell as a company is we meet riders from literally all over the world. It's amazing the trips that people take. Do you have any thoughts on riding specifically in Europe? Are there any countries or places that you got to see on your trip that you'd really recommend? Or are there any places that you've been really wanting to see?
I just wanted to go to the north because there you have this Ingemannsrad, it's called. So you're allowed to put up your tent anywhere. So that is much easier when you're touring because you can just ride, pick a spot, put up your tent, just not too close to a house, but anywhere you can just put it up. And that's mostly for the countries in Norway and Sweden. And the nature there is just beautiful when you get high enough up in the country with wildlife and rivers and mountaintops where they can get snow on them.
And thank you so much for sharing some of your experiences. I think there's going to be some really useful takeaways for riders of different skill levels to have here. And like I said, appreciate you just taking the time to do this.
Perfect. Thank you, David.